But the balance should be with the totality. So we have to think of a total well-being. Once we start thinking of the total well-being, then first thing that should come to us, are we capable of bringing up that total well-being? Are we? Have we got the total well-being within ourselves or not? Have we? We are still worried if the plane is coming or not. I mean, we are so mundane, so little, so small. With one bandhan, you can control any plane, any atmosphere, and here you are, still worried about things which are absolutely under your control. So this totality has to be thought over. What is this totality that Mother is talking about? In this totality, a world has to be created of people, by the people, who have no fear. This fear has to be. Behind all this nonsensical nervousness is fear. So for that, what she does is to give Abhaydan. Under her protection, you are beyond fear. You are protected. But if you don't want to believe in yourself and you don't believe into her protection, then nobody can help you. Because everything is mythical for you. In every venture that we take up, we should not have any fear, because God is with you, is a fact, is the truth. You just try. But when you try through your ego, you fall into the trap of fear. I have seen egoistical people are the most frightened people and panicked, because they panic others, and so they think they can be panicked one day. When the English were here, first of all, in England, India, we were all frightened of them. Now, I see that in England, every English family is frightened of others. They'll only open a chink of the door to see who is there and shut it. They're so frightened. I'm surprised they are the same English who ruled us here. And we were so peevish before them. And now they are the ones who are frightened of us. Because when a person who is egoistical tries to dominate others, he sees himself in the mirror and thinks that the other person will dominate. That's how this fear creeps into our minds, and we start getting all kinds of these stupid tantrums out of this mythical fear. The fear is created by our ego. A person who has no ego, he'll have no fear, because he has not harmed anyone. Why should you have any fear? And such a man or such a woman will be looked after by God, because God takes over. When you surrender your ego to God, He takes over. But those who have ego, He says, all right, go ahead. Use your ego, try to protect yourself, cut your throat. That's what it is. So when I talk of total benevolence, I am talking about your own total benevolence. So first is the fear, which should go out of your mind completely if you believe in the Almighty God. We'll say, you are Almighty God, you are Almighty this thing. It's all lip service. If you believe that God is Almighty and you are connected with God, then why should you have any fear of anything? But when we say don't have fear, another extreme comes up. We don't have fear, we can do what we like, we can perform everything ourselves, we need not tell anyone. You have to tell God whatever you are doing. You have to take permission, you have to inform in His darbar, in His court, that, sir, we are thinking of doing such and such thing. But you think you are God. You are not. And that's why the another part of non-fear is this kind of an arbitrary behavior, which is very dangerous for Sahaja Yoga, for yourself, or for everybody else. The second fear, I have, is that if I tell you anything, 99% of you understand is for your benevolence, is for your good. But there is 1% of people who can just react because they have too much ego and they won't take it because they don't think of their own benevolence. They don't understand that if I am telling them anything, it is just to give them completeness, totality. But on the contrary, they take a very wrong attitude. This is another nonsense. So now one has to develop a kind of a indifference to this kind of people who unnecessarily go to the other limit of their own destruction. I don't want to see what is the point in everything that I am telling. Only I can tell you. Who else? I have to tell you what's wrong with you, what you have done wrong, and then you must change it. This is another style of reaction one gets. Means they are not interested in their own benevolence. They are not interested in the benevolence of their children. They are not interested in the benevolence of their country or the whole world. Now why have you come to Sahaja Yoga? Just ask one question. Of course, for you to ascend. But ascend for what? Supposing we bring one tube light. For what? We have to take the tube light. For what? We have to put the light. But this tube light doesn't give light, nothing of the kind. So what's the use of having this tube light? In the same way, what's the use of coming to Sahaja Yoga if you cannot become the light of the divine? So all of you, each one of you, is not at all a small person. No one. But you don't realize what you are. Still have those funny conditionings by which you think you are no good. All of you can come up and see so many people. If they take to total benevolence within themselves, it will manifest itself outside. Absolutely is a fact. Then the attention is very important. The attention should be on your own perfection and on your total benevolence. This is also another point people miss, that they start finding faults with others instead of finding faults with themselves. As a result, if you look at others, what will you get out of it? I just don't understand. If somebody is wrong, he's doing something evil, he's bad, even if you put attention to him, what will you do about it? But if you have something wrong, you have every right, you have every control, and you can correct yourself. I said, this is especially Indian quality, is to find faults with others. They'll never see that what's wrong with us. All the time the attention is involved in finding with faults with others. Then how can we improve? On the contrary, if you start seeing faults, you get faulty much more. It's a copycat nature of human beings. They see somebody doing like this, oh mother, he is a Sahaja Yogi, he does like this, so what's the harm if I do? But who says he is a Sahaja Yogi? So Sahaja Yogi is not a brand, it's not a certificate, it's not a kind of a organization, but it is your own status that you have achieved. Anybody can say I am a Sahaja Yogi. After all, I cannot stop him from saying I am not such a yogi. Even I have seen some mad people, they are Sahaja Yogis. For years together they are mad, but they are Sahaja Yogis. But you have to see for yourself, am I Sahaja Yogi or not, before certifying yourself. Why don't you find out?